Golf is big, really big. And while you or I might not play the sport or watch it, I mean, I don't, it still is huge. $70 billion every year are made from the golf industry in America, and there's around 24 million active players of the sport, with 2 million joining every single year, and 450 million fans watching from around the world. So it's big. And it's also really expensive to get into. I mean, your average new equipment might not cost that much, but a brand new driver can cost upwards of $500, $600, and that's only one club. Now, if you don't know much about golf, you need more than just one club, and good clubs are gonna set you back a lot of money. And that doesn't even account for the fact that if you're not very good at golf, you're gonna lose your balls. And when you lose your balls, you're gonna have to go buy more balls. So it's expensive. And it's increasing the crime rate in America. Now, while this story doesn't affect me personally, it does affect someone that I'm very close to in my life. My dad is a resident golf player and plays casually pretty much every weekend, and so he really knows exactly how expensive this sport is. How much was your most expensive club?
The driver.
And how much was it?
$500.
And how much have you spent on the whole equipment?
About $3,000.
Now, obviously that's really expensive and almost worth just driving down to the golf store and stealing a golf club, because $3,000? Are you kidding me? To hit a ball? But that's not the only reason why people are stealing golf clubs. They're stealing it to sell them at a lower price. And you can see why this cash grab works. It's because they're so expensive that even if someone knows that a golf club is potentially being thieved, they would rather not pay $500, and if they could get it instead for $300, $200, then the thief makes a profit and you don't have to pay as much. Now, to talk about what people are stealing from golf stores, we first want to talk about what people are stealing from American stores in general. In fact, I found it very interesting to discover that the most common things are stolen in American stores are packaged meat. That's number one. The second most stolen thing is a razor blade. Third, alcohol. That one's obvious. Fourth is beauty cosmetics. Fifth is cheese. Sixth, you have branded deodorant. Seventh, batteries. And in number 8 is clothing, which surprised me. I thought clothing would be much higher up. And then 9 is coffee. Oh, I get that one. 10, we have baby clothes, which, man, those get pretty expensive. 11 is jeans, and finally 12 is fragrance, perfumes and stuff. So those are some interesting things to be stealing, and a lot of them are just to live. But the golf stealing industry seems to be for resale. In fact, most stores that are robbed, you can see the robbed equipment be sold on eBay just a couple hours later, and it can go for a lot. This industry is booming. Well, the theft industry is booming because they're selling it for 25% off the retail price and still making a $450 profit. It's a big problem, and these companies are losing a ton of money. Just last year alone, there was 900 reported crime events, and the total damage to the industry was $6 million. That's 5 times more than it was in 2019. So what's fueling this surge of theft? Well, the club's prices are rising rapidly, and that's a good deal for a thief trying to make a quick buck. Additionally, golf clubs retain their value over time, so it's a worthwhile investment to hold on to one and try to resell it later. Or steal one, for this matter. And also right now, there's a huge problem with companies instructing their employees to not engage in a physical intervention with a thief due to complications with lawsuits involving the employee's injury. And what also is interesting is a lot of these thieves are actually related to drug cartels and various mafias. Also, it appears that the thefts are usually targeted, and sometimes a thief might hit up a store multiple times in just one day. Some managers of stores have come out and spoken, and it's kind of saddening to hear what they have to say. One manager came out and said, "It just wears you out. Now when we're seeing customers come through the door, it's like you almost have to say to yourself, is he coming in to rob us, or is he just looking to try a new putter? And that really goes to show that these robberies aren't just affecting the financial side of things, but there's employees dealing with these situations and are gaining traumatic experiences from it. It's affecting them emotionally too. So what's the solution? This is a huge problem, and if it doesn't get fixed soon, some of these golf companies might go out of business, and especially single stores, managers could be losing a lot of money in this situation. Well, there's not a clear answer. And right now, there's just more work being done with law enforcement and dealing with some of these cases. With the current price of golf materials, it's no wonder why people are trying to find cheaper alternatives. But if they aren't able to fix this problem, then a lot of these stores are going to be going out of business soon.
Stenson also a past winner. On here in 2007. He's had 4 wins in the desert. Oh, crikey.
So when you're able to hear the most commonly stolen goods from American stores, you're able to reflect on how, for the most part, it's thieving for the sake of the self, not for the sake of the sale. But for golf clubs, it's a different story. I just thought this was a super interesting story about how golf somehow rose the American crime rate. And it just goes to show that America has a lot of underground problems that you don't always think about, especially in industries that are booming right now, but you don't really notice that these things go under the radar. If you have any other underground stories you'd like to share with me, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I'd love to cover them. Thanks, have a good one.